Hamish, Napier.
It's lovely to be back here. We're going to play some Bach for you now, which we're very excited about. And we decided we would have a bit of an experiment with arranging folkifying, as Sua calls it, some classical music. So what better to pick than a piece of solo Bach, and we're going to play a couple of bourrées for you.
I like the way he says that, bourrée. I call it bourrée.
Bourrée. If I'm from Granton, I should really say bourrée.
Bourrée. So yes, this is a set of bourrées, French folk dances from Bach, from the third cello suite. Yeah, thanks. tune we're going to play is for our mutual friend Julie Fowlis. Now, Julie was my duo collaborator on the album for Morún Gialog, which is a gorgeous traditional Gaelic lament. And although sadly she's not here tonight, we've chosen to play this for many reasons, as it really holds many connections for us all. It was written by Christina Ferguson, who lost her husband, William Chisholm, in the Battle of Culloden. And it was the same tune that brought Julie, myself, Duncan and Donald onto the stage as a quartet at Celtic Connections in 2015. And it was also the night where I discovered that Julie and I had the same size feet. Because she forgot her gig shoes and had to borrow a pair of mine. So, yeah, this is Morún Gialog. It's not really the tones in it, but the lament, but here we go.
Myself and Donald have the same size feet too. Got my eye in his shoes.
Donald called Cavanagh Macha. I asked him last night if he had any stories. He said, not really. Any more tonight?
No, just that it's a melody, Cavanagh Macha, which means Macher at dawn, and it's a tune that was written for a TV series about post-war Hebrides, essentially in Harris. It's called Grue Zoeker, and was the film Crowding Cream, and this was a melody on a couple of soldiers coming back from war. Macher at Dawn, which I recorded with Charlie McHerron, who I think is known in these parts. That was it.
And then we're going to play Haze Across the Sun by Duncan, which is on his Sandwood album.
It's not too polished for you, is it?
Hamish. The first is Barshinabad, recorded for Duncan's Sandwood album. And Barshinabad is the Gaelic term for Sandwood Bay, which, I wanted Duncan to actually describe that, because we played this so many times on Duncan's gigs where he describes Sandwood Bay, and I love the way he describes it as this.
It's a great beach. Has anyone been to Sandwood? Yes, it's a very special place, isn't it? It's hard to describe actually how beautiful it is, and there are a few places in the world quite like Sandwood, and I always describe it as a thin place. It's like the feeling you get that the distance between heaven and earth is really short, and I haven't been back to Sandwood in, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 years now, and I miss it. So I need to visit again. But yes, very special.
Very special. So Hamish and I, after recording that, we went to the beach, and as a sort of pilgrimage after the recording, and it really is that stunning. And we actually had a dip in the sea.
We found a whale skull. Although I was talking to a guy last night, and he showed me a picture of he'd actually found a giant orca that had washed up on the beach. We reckon it might actually been an orca. But we found this, and it was about the size, the skull of it was about the size of this piano. Yeah. And Sue was sat there on it playing the saw in the middle of the beach with nobody for miles around. It was quite a sight.
And sound, yeah.
And sound. But it's one of these places where the idea of scale is quite strange. Like some of the pebbles that wash up on the shore are actually the size of footballs. And you don't realise the beach is miles long. It's really amazing. I follow that with a tune called the Speyside Line, and I grew up next to an old railway line called the Speyside Line that ran from Granton-on-Spey and Strathspey, where I grew up, all the way to Craigellachie and then on to Aberdeen. So if I'd grown up in the 60s, I could have got the train to Aberdeen if I so desired, and come back the same day. But it's just a shame that all these old railways were shut down. But it was apparently one of the most beautiful railways in Scotland, because it was right above the river at one point, just vertically down. Actually, a part of it hung right over the top of the river. So really amazing. And so I had to write a piece of music.
Kind of glad it didn't fall in, because it was carrying. What was it carrying?
It was carrying a lot of whiskey, so it's very important, because it was transporting whiskey to the rest of the world. A lot of whiskey distilleries down there, obviously in Speyside. So I had to write a piece of music for this about the railway, and so I went on the old Strathspey Steam Railway that all the kids go on. It's great fun at Aviemore, and I made a recording, and the rhythm of the music is in this tune. So this is the Speyside Line.
So the next tune that we're going to play is a gem of a waltz from Finland. It's from the south of Finland, and it is my Dialogues duo partner's collaboration of Pekka Kuusisto, and I don't know if you've ever heard of him. If you have not, then you really must check him out. He's actually one of my favourite things to check out is if you go onto YouTube, put in Pekka Kuusisto. His name is Pekka Kuustonen. It's like a spelling test. And there's an encore he does at the Royal Albert Hall in the Proms. And he basically sings, he whistles, he's a comedian. He has the whole 4,500 people singing along with him for at the Royal Albert Hall. It's incredible. Anyway, so this is a Finnish tune called Lundgren, and he says he heard it first in the Kaustinen Folk Festival in Finland, played by an album launch by the KPP band, KPP JPP band, and that's where his love affair with folk music began for him. So, and when he plays it quite often, and when he plays it, he says he always says to the audience that this is nothing to do with the actor Dolph Lundgren. So this is Lundgren. much. This is actually the last set now. But I'd like to just say a few thank yous first, because really it's absolutely wonderful to be playing for you all here. And so I'm going to start firstly by saying thank you to my wonderful musicians. It's not bad for a backing band, is it? Someone said to me, bad backing band. We have Duncan, Chisholm, Hamish, and we've been very lucky tonight to have two incredible sound men, Finlay and Colin. I don't know if you know, but sound men are really integral to our band. So we owe a lot to them for our sound. I'd also like to thank our incredible host, Matthew Anderson, and the big team that comes around along with him. It's been amazing. We've been looked after, incredible accommodation, as you can imagine, and looking forward to a big feed tonight. We've been promised ham and iron brew, so can't wait for that. And of course, lastly, thank you for being such a lovely audience. It's been an absolute pleasure to play for you all. And so we're going to finish this evening with a set of 3 tunes. The first is by Hamish. It's Ross Gael na Halba, which means in Gaelic it's the White Rose of Scotland. Second is Josiane by Donald Shaw, and the last is Ali MacLeod of Applecross, which was a joint commission for Hamish and Duncan.
Please put your hands together for our band leader and van driver, Sue Lee.
not leaving the stage, not yet, no. So thank you so much for being such a lovely, lovely warm audience. What I'm going to say is there's been a slight reference to it already earlier about the whale skull in Sandwood Bay, but there is a second instrument that I play that we're going to get out for you today.
So if we could sound engineers, if you could just bring out the whale skull now, please.
It's a slow air, and you'll see what my second instrument is in a minute. But it's by Hamish. It's a slow air inspired by the poetry and the legacy of George Mackay Brown. Here is a wound, the wound, and the gift. And actually, that sounds wrong now, but I'm bringing a saw out for you. The wound and the gift. Want to make sure that I don't accidentally chop my cello in half.
On tour, we're all very polite to Sue all the time.
You know not to believe that.
Hey.